Hi, I'm Maria Dancing Heart, author of The Last Adventure of Life, and this is an inspirational resource book to help people with end-of-life care. I've been doing hospice bereavement and spiritual counseling for many years, and some people say this work is a wonderful introduction to hospice. One of the questions I get asked is, what, in your opinion, would help Americans better understand death? My mind, when I hear that question, immediately goes to the words of Rabbi Schachter Shalomi, and he has said that in the last 100 years, we Americans have pathologized death by taking it to the hospital. And those words somehow ring true to me. I believe that we have taken death to the hospital and relied on hospitals to do work that they are not really equipped to do. In fact, in hospitals, the thought is to keep people alive at all costs. So there's very little space or room for death in hospitals. So thank goodness for hospice that is beginning to bring back death into the natural cycle of life. In fact, one of my day seminar titles is Joyful Transitions, Bringing Death and Grief Back to Life. And one of my visions is that we see the interconnectedness of life and death in such a way that we no longer fear death. We might come to the recognition that, we've done this before. We may not remember it, but death is no stranger. And in fact, death comes with us into life when we are born and is perched on our shoulder all throughout our lives. So it's critical that we make friends with death and not treat it as an enemy or something that's out there, but it's really with us all the time in our lives, and it's not something we need to be afraid of. And in the end, really, maybe it's not that big of a deal. We make it out to be a huge deal, but perhaps we've been here before and we will come here again. And perhaps death is a perfectly natural part of life, and when it's intended to happen, that is the perfect time. And perhaps we can let go of the notion that we must keep fighting death at all costs. And instead, when it is time, welcome it back in to our lives. In some of the indigenous cultures, like Japan and in the Native American world, in the olden days, people, when they felt they could not contribute to society any longer, they would simply take a walk out into nature and tune into just being with the earth again. And this custom was a fairly common custom, as I understand it. And perhaps we can learn something from this custom of, when the time comes, to simply be able to let go and let God take care of us into the next realm.